Hi everyone, so we're here with Marisa and I'm so excited to introduce you to her. She is currently in the Pinterest Game Plan, which is the signature course that we are talking about today. So Marisa, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. I feel very honored to be here. I'm a huge supporter of this program as well as you, Catherine, as you know. So I'm just excited to be here and share kind of my experience with all of you.
I'm so glad. So firstly, I'd love for you to tell us a bit about yourself and what you do.
Sure. So, as Catherine said, I'm Marisa Victoria. I'm the owner and founder of Virtual Zen. So, I bring balance to businesses through virtual assistant, digital, and project management services. In addition to that, I've been transitioning my niche into the Pinterest world, which is kind of how Catherine and I came to know each other. She was recommended to me, and then I transitioned in, and we'll get into a little more of that later. But that's again what I do. So I work with a variety of small businesses, particularly within the creative fields, wedding and event industry, as well as floristry. So that's where kind of my niche is going. I'm
That's
excited about it.
wonderful. Yeah, that's very cool. I'm really excited. So I just want to hop on quickly over there with the fact that you're moving into Pinterest services. That is really, really exciting. And I know that I obviously know that already, but it's just really exciting to know that someone who's interested in becoming a Pinterest manager can take this course and know that there's lots of value in it in becoming a Pinterest manager.
Yes, definitely.
So the next thing I wanted to ask is, what was your Pinterest profile like before the Pinterest game plan, and what is it like now? And that also can include if you're starting with new clients or anything like that, because I know you can use this course for both, whether you're starting with a client or your own profile.
So I love that question because when I joined the program, I was actually doing it for the fact that I was going to be servicing other clients. So I wasn't even thinking about myself in mind. It was for them because I hadn't started to create content for myself where I felt that it would be, a viable reference of my time to utilize it for myself. So that's where I began. So as I look at both my personal profile as well as my client's profile, both are actually starting to grow, which is the really cool part because as you said, this can be used for both of those. So for example, my client's profile that I've implemented all of these strategies to from the Pinterest for Business has actually grown from, we started with 500 viewers per month when we began, what was it, the end of December, I believe, and we're actually at 5,000 monthly viewers right now. And that's within what? Almost 2 months of implementation of strategy. And then for myself, I've also been able to start to build the foundation to my personal Pinterest profile because you start to realize that you can start to implement these things even if you don't feel confident fully in the content that you have. But you also have the opportunity to learn how to build a really strong foundation for yourself and for your clients. And then for me, I luckily got to kind of trial and error with my client's profile, which we've been doing fantastic with, and she's very happy. So we've actually grown her product sales by 200%.
Wow, that's
Already.
amazing.
I know. And, I think people are skeptical when people say those things. I was a
Mhm.
skeptic as well. But to actually read the analytics now and to see her sales coming through, I mean,
That's
200%.
fantastic. Yeah,
That's fantastic. So
that is
it's
absolutely
very
fantastic. I'm so happy to hear that. That is very, very exciting, both for you and for your client, because that also attributes to the fact that you've put in the hard work to learn all of this and then apply it for your client. So I'm really impressed by that.
thank you.
Yeah, and then I wanted to ask you, why did you decide to join the Pinterest Game Plan?
Hmm. Well, I had started with the virtual assistant boot camp with Abby Ashley, which I know she is a huge supporter of you as well with the virtual savvy. And so I had heard the recommendation from her, and I was at that point where I just invested in her program and I was feeling a little apprehensive because I was like, do I want to, put more money into another program? There's so much noise out in the marketplace. And then I found you and I started researching. And one of the biggest things is that, Catherine, you're fantastic at having that personal impact and connection. So for me, when I actually saw the recommendation, I went to Catherine's business page and the Pinterest for Business, and I was looking at her Facebook group because there's Pinterest Playground, if I'm not mistaken, that you also have.
It's the Pinterest Strategy Facebook group.
Okay, so that's where I started, and I was asking some questions, and Catherine was getting back to me like right away, making me feel like I was the only person that she was managing, and I was just like, this is it. Like, this is what I need. This are the answers that I've been waiting to have answered, because, again, there's just a lot of noise, and sometimes it's easy to find the vague explanation of things. But I think with utilizing any new platform, especially Pinterest, if you're going to do it the right way, you need to know how to do it step by step in the right way. So that's what really helped me transition to Pinterest.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. It's so good to hear. One of the things that I love is obviously our weekly calls with the people in the group, and then obviously our private Facebook group as well. So I love connection, and I think that really does help when you're using something like Pinterest, because you're often going to get questions about your own Pinterest account, or how am I going to apply this to my client's Pinterest account? And that's where that connection in the group calls come in, which is very exciting to hear that you like that. So we have chatted a little bit about this, but what specific results have you seen on your Pinterest profile or your clients as a result of the program?
So not only with those results that I shared with, our product sales being up 200%, and we have 5,000 monthly viewers now, they're just building. And in addition to that, she's getting more traffic to her website, which was a big thing for us. For those of you who decide to join, you'll start in the Pinterest for Business looking at a goal, and then you'll start to break down those goals as to what are realistic goals, what are attainable goals, and what are realistic deadlines to reach those goals. So that's an exercise that I set with my client, and then what we did is we picked a goal 6 months out, because as you'll learn, Pinterest is not a platform that you can get immediate results. It's going to take time and consistent interaction with an execution to get results. So what we have been looking for is A, to get more traffic to her website, and B, to improve her email list. And we've been able to do both. We've actually been able to add about 10 to 15 new subscribers per week, which is huge. Like, that is huge, because my client, for instance, has 2 businesses. One is a law firm, one is a wedding product contract site, and the contract side, the product side, was not getting any love. So, it was just being put to the wayside, which I'm sure we can all attest to, those things happen. And now with these results and the strategy that we've implemented, week by week, we've been able to see an improvement in subscribers, like I said, that traffic, the monthly viewers, and they're all equating to sales. And the coolest part is those businesses, for her at least, are tied together. So those who are coming to her site now to purchase her products are now, if they're in the Virginia area, being able to reach out to her for her clients, to actually become clients with her on the legal side. So it's benefiting both businesses.
That is wonderful to hear. Very exciting that it's actually helping both businesses. I love that, sort of that flow between the two is fantastic.
And she didn't anticipate that, and nor did I. Yeah. So we were both very excited.
I can imagine, because you would get excited when things like that happen, where it's unexpected results. So I'm very excited about that. Well done. And then I also wanted to ask, did you have any worries about joining, or any hesitation about joining the program?
Yes, and I know I touched on that briefly previously as well, but for any of us who, work in online businesses or not, excuse me, you find that there's just so much out there. And when you're trying to learn a new platform or a new marketing strategy, or really anything, the internet is humongous. You can find a variety of different resources, but it's finding the value added resources that are actually going to work for you. And so my fear again was, I had just invested a lot of money into this other, online resource. and I was in almost the beginning stages of my business as well. So my business has been in motion since 2017. It's almost a year old, not even. So again, I'm investing all this money and I'm thinking, am I going to get the return on investment was my biggest concern. But once I was able to transition, I'm very grateful that you have that Pinterest group where, you know, those who aren't in Pinterest for Business can join and start to ask questions, because that really started to show me that I had found a gold mine of resources. And for those of you who get to interact or meet Catherine or have seen her Facebook Live videos, you know that whatever topic she's speaking of, she goes from full detail from start to finish of how to do it. And you actually have, you know, a tangible tool to use at the end, which again is very hard to find. So that was my concern, is just finding something that was going to work for me, that I was going to understand, and be able to implement. And I found that.
That's wonderful. So joining the free Facebook group, the Pinterest Strategy Facebook group, helped you transition and get over those worries. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, exactly. Wonderful. And your Facebook Lives are fantastic. So those are very helpful as well.
Perfect. So good. I'm glad to hear that. And I love seeing that you can journey from that point of being in the free Facebook group, getting to know me, because I love getting to know people as well. I've got a personal connection with everybody in the course, which I love. And so I'm so glad to hear that, because that's exactly what I wanted to create. So thanks. And then I wanted to ask another question quickly. Were there any other positive experiences that you didn't expect that came from being in the program?
Yeah, so I think one of my other favorite things about the Pinterest for Business Facebook group as well is that, you know, even with our calls and in the group, whenever you ask a question, it's answered. Like, you just feel very supported at literally all times. And I'll give you a brief example. Last weekend I had been, you know, researching for my client, and I was in process of getting Tailwind set up for her. And I had encountered a little snippet where I was kind of freaking out, like, oh my gosh, what did I just do? I just put my card through. This is what's happening. And I literally went to the Facebook group and posted, and Catherine responded to me right away, within literally probably like 10 minutes, and answered my question, gave me the resources I need, and I was able to fix my problem right then and there. And I mean, that almost ruined my day. Like, I was like, this is not good. This is not good at all. And so just having that support, I knew that I was going to be able to ask questions, but I didn't think I was going to have as much one-on-one support and to feel like I'm valued as a member, and that my questions are valued and my business are valued. And I know that when I started the course as well, I had reached out and said, hey, this is my client's profile. Can you look at it? I'm having a lot of difficulty coming up with, you know, more board titles and what to do with that. And, you know, you took the time to go and look at those for me and give me ideas and help me. And that's the biggest thing, is feeling that support and feeling very valued, and that, you know, even my client was valued and she wasn't even a part of the conversation. So that was the biggest surprise and something that I'm most grateful for with joining this.
I'm so glad to hear that. I love that part, though. For me, I get excited getting to know your business and then seeing it grow. So hearing that you got a client like 200% increase in sales just makes my day. And that's what we're all in it for. You know what I mean? Like, you entrusted me with teaching you and helping you. And that's part of this program. That's part of being in my community, you know. And I absolutely love that you loved that experience, because for me, I love getting to know you and I love getting to know your business. And I'm excited for the years to come, because I think as you add in new clients, I'm going to be a part of that. And I love that. That just gives so much connection and value to everything that I do. And then it makes me so excited to be a part of that. So I also appreciate you, and I appreciate that you entrusted me to teach you about Pinterest.
Well, thank you.
Yes, no, carry on. Okay, perfect. So my last question is, what was your favorite aspect of the program? So obviously we spoke about any other positive experiences, but if you had to choose one specific thing that you loved above all else about the program, what would it be?
That's hard. There are a lot of parts I like about the program. I think one of the biggest things, I've never been an analytics type of gal. That's never been my strong suit by any means. So I think the portion on analytics was really helpful because even though someone can say, yes, Pinterest uses the compound effect and you shouldn't use those, people are still going to go to their analytics and be like, oh my gosh, every day, like, is this working? Is it not working? But now I'm able to look at the bigger picture. So I'm able to see results from a global scale, which makes me able to articulate those changes to my client because that's something that's a challenge you'll encounter is how do you articulate that changes are being made and value is being added if they can't see that right away. So that piece was really, really helpful, and I love that. I love that piece, definitely.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time to share this with us. I'm sure that a lot of people who are visiting the Pinterest game plan right now are obviously asking all these questions. So I hope we answered it for you in this video. And thank you, Marisa, for joining me. And I'm excited to see as you add on more clients, what kind of results you're going to get and follow this journey with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.